There is a brutal truth about U.S. workplaces that nobody says out loud. Work that nobody sees might as well not exist. You can be the hardest working person in your American company. You can produce the best results on your team. You can solve problems nobody else can solve. And if the right people do not see it, none of it counts toward your career. This is the hardest truth for skilled professionals to accept because it feels unfair. You were taught that the work should speak for itself. It does not. It never has. It never will. In U.S. workplaces, work does not speak. People speak. And if nobody is speaking about your work, including you, then your work is silent. Subscribe right now because this video fixes the single most common reason talented people get overlooked. Let me tell you about two people on the same team in a U.S. company. The first is the engine of the team. He does the hardest work, fixes the deepest problems, and carries the heaviest load. But he does it quietly. He believes that drawing attention to his work would be bragging, so he keeps his head down and lets the results pile up, trusting they will be noticed. The second person does solid work too. Not as much as the first man, not as deep. But she does one thing he never does. She makes her work visible. In team meetings, she gives brief, clear updates on what she accomplished and what it changed. When she solves a problem, the relevant people hear about it, framed not as bragging, but as useful information. When she finishes something significant, her manager knows, and her manager's manager knows. At review time, the first man's manager struggles to remember everything he did, because so much of it happened invisibly. The second person's manager has a clear, vivid picture of her impact because she made sure of it all year. She gets promoted. He gets told to keep up the good work. The difference was not the work. The difference was the visibility of the work. Drop the word visible in the comments right now if you are someone who does great work quietly and assumes it will be noticed. I want to know how many people are making this mistake. Here is the principle underneath this. In U.S. workplaces, decision makers do not evaluate your actual work. They cannot. They were not there for most of it. They evaluate their perception of your work. And their perception is built from what they see, what they hear, and what you tell them, not from the invisible reality of what you actually did. This means you have two jobs in any American company, not one. Job one is to do excellent work. Job two is to make sure the right people have an accurate perception of that work. Most professionals only do job one. They believe job two is somehow dishonest or unnecessary, so they do excellent work that lives entirely in the dark, and they wonder why people who do less get recognized more. The people who do less get recognized more because they did job two. This is not about lying or exaggerating. It is about making the truth of your contribution visible to the people who decide your future. So how do you make your work visible without looking like a self-promoter? There are three specific methods. All three keep you on the right side of the line between visibility and bragging. Method 1. Frame visibility as information, not self-promotion. The difference between bragging and informing is framing. Bragging sounds like, "I did an amazing job on this." Informing sounds like, "Quick update, the project shipped on time and we came in under budget. Here is what that means for next quarter." Same underlying fact, completely different reception. When you frame your accomplishment as useful information that helps the team or the decision maker, you are not bragging. You are being a good communicator, and the visibility happens as a natural side effect. Method 2. Report outcomes, not activity. Most professionals who try to be visible make a critical error. They report how busy they were, how many hours, how many tasks. Nobody with power cares about your activity. They care about outcomes. What changed because of your work? What problem got solved? What number moved? What risk got reduced? When you make your work visible, always translate it into the language of outcomes. Not, "I worked all weekend on the report." Instead, the report identified a process gap that was costing us roughly 40 hours a month, and we have now closed it. Outcomes are what get remembered. Activity is what gets forgotten. Method 3. Create visibility moments deliberately. Visibility does not happen by accident for quiet people. You have to create the moments. A brief, well-timed update in a team meeting. A short written summary sent to the right person after a project closes. A clear answer in a meeting that demonstrates you understand the bigger picture. A moment in a one-on-one where you connect your work to the goals your manager cares about. These are not accidents. The visible professional engineers them, modestly, consistently, and in the language of outcomes. Machiavelli wrote that men in general judge more by their eyes than by their hands, because everyone can see, but few can feel. He meant that perception reaches more people than reality ever does. In a U.S. workplace, the people who decide your future are judging by their eyes. They see what is made visible to them. Everything else is invisible, no matter how real. The skilled, quiet professional believes this is unjust, and it may be. But it is also the system you are operating inside, and refusing to play job 2 does not make you noble. It just makes you overlooked. Now here is what to do with this starting this week. Send one outcome-framed visibility update. This week, identify one thing you have accomplished recently that the right person does not fully know about. Write a short message, 3 or 4 sentences. Frame it as information, not bragging. Lead with the outcome, not the activity. Something like, wanted to share a quick update. The issue we discussed last month is now resolved. The fix should save the team roughly X hours a month going forward. Happy to walk through details if useful. Send it to the one person whose perception of your work matters most. That is it. One outcome-framed update. One important person. This week, you have just moved one piece of your invisible work into the light, in a way that informs rather than brags. Do this consistently, and the gap between what you actually do and what people believe you do will start to close. The quiet engine in our story is still doing the hardest work on the team. He is still being told to keep up the good work. He is still invisible where it counts. The visible professional is now 2 levels above where she started, because the people who decide always had an accurate, vivid picture of her impact. The difference was never the quality of the work. The difference was whether the right people could see it. In U.S. workplaces, do excellent work, then make sure it is seen. Both jobs. Always. Like this video if it names something you have been getting wrong for years. Share it with someone who does brilliant work quietly and keeps getting overlooked. They need this. And subscribe, because in the next video we go into how to control the way people perceive you, because perception, not reality, is what you are actually evaluated on. Do not miss it.